Admiral's Log, September 26, 1912. This war is taking way longer than I would have liked. My predecessors would have won wars faster than this. I currently don't see a quick way to end the war either. We're still building the navy out further, but it's very difficult to keep up with the Brits. The new class of gunboat destroyers have had their first battle. The pack of them encountered a convoy. While the British sent a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser to the convoy's aid, it was already too late. The gunboats had picked the convoy apart without taking any serious damage and were able to disengage. This bodes well for the future. We need to go on the offensive instead of constantly having to respond to the British. One of my battleships encountered a British battle cruiser and was heavily damaged in the encounter. Barbette and turret armor definitely need to be looked into, as the battleship had a flash fire in one of her turrets. This is getting commonplace and causes enormous and sometimes catastrophic damage to the ships. Maybe a more stable propellant will also help. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 10 of the German campaign. If this episode finds you on Christmas Day, then Merry Christmas, and if you're watching it later than that, just, well, don't bother with the whole Christmas thing. We're going to start this one with a destroyer ambush. The Ostfriesland, one of our newest battleships, is being countered/ambushed by a whole slew of British destroyers. Our only option is to load the high explosive and to start popping these destroyers. It's going to be an interesting dance event, shall we say, for the battleship. Because considering how many destroyers there are, and a turning circle of 351, I am probably in for getting, well, potentially getting hit by a torpedo or two. But of course, if I can help it, then yes, please. I only need to get lucky once or twice with these 12-inch guns. That is, if the high explosive, of course, hits. I'm not going to fire AP because it will simply overpen the target, and that is not really worth my time. And there you go. That was a 12-inch hit against the main belt of the destroyer, and even a high explosive hit is an overpen. That is how deadly these ships are. Now I'm going to slow them down to 10 knots to ensure that they have excellent mobility and that their accuracy will also improve. But especially the turning circle needs to go down. It does look like these DDs are popping quite a bit of fires on my ship. There you go. You should be basically dead. Resting on your laurels, pardon the dad joke. We got the Watson, the Vivacious, the Gala, the Obedient. We have a lot of ships coming in. Retarget the guns and go for the Watson. Hard to port. The Watson's torpedo launchers are on her aft. For some reason they're not launching yet. They got 4-kilometer range. And they're definitely inside a range. There's a set of torpedoes. Oh shit, this is a new DD class. Hard starboard. Yeah, there's more. The Vivacious class is packing a triple launcher and then 2 single launchers. These DDs are 2.9 million. As opposed to the older Watson, which is 1.7. So they're far more expensive. And capable of putting more torpedoes in the water. I'm going to have to try and try and squeeze through all of these torps. And it's going to be increasingly difficult. The Vedette just launched another torpedo at me. I have a nice gap here. Straighten the rudder out. I think the Vedette only launched a single torpedo. Now I'm going to juke my speed a little bit to also throw them off from that. There's the wounded Watson again. What do you want? The Gala is out of torpedoes. That's good. The Vivacious is reloading. The Obedient has torps. Okay, full ahead flank. I want to be outside of the torpedo arc of these. Urgent. Yeah, that was the present from the Vedette. Come on. Oh, fuck, there's even more. I'm gonna need more time to evade that. Yeah, full ahead flank. Just straight. The Ostfriesland has to survive. Yeah, we're fine. We're outside of the torpedo arcs. So we have damaged the Watson, the Vedette, and the Laurel. But I need kills. Especially considering how expensive these things are. These Vedettes. 2.9 million for a DD. That is really expensive. Okay, we can slow back down. There's another torpedo on my stern. The Tara still has her torpedoes ready. Come on. 20% chance to hit with 12s. And these are only cadets. Thankfully the sea state's pretty good. Otherwise this would have been very much more difficult. Oh shit, there's more. Those single torpedo launchers are so dangerous. Because the game doesn't adequately show me whether they're loaded or not. That's the problem. I can pretty safely charge into the Watson because she's no harm. The Laurel is, but she's outside of her torpedo range. They still got that 4.1 kilometer range. They maintained the fast torps. Oh shit, I ate one. Damn it. Increase speed a little. There is more coming. Hard to port. Tara's out of torpedo. Gala's out of torpedo. Obedience out of torps. The Sepoy has torps. And we got the Vivacious, who's almost done reloading her triple launcher. Come on. Sink one of them. The Vedette, please. I know I've been putting this ship through a ton of turns, making it very difficult for the gunners to maintain their targeting lock. But it's all that I have to do to try and keep this ship alive. That is a great salvo. That ought to kill her. That's the Watson down. The Laurel is next. Because she still has torpedoes, and I'm about to sail into her torpedo range. Gala's harmless. I don't know what the Gala is planning. But I'm switching secondaries to her. So that's the dual, sorry, the 3 5-inch turrets. There goes the Laurel. Well done, that was the 12-inch guns. Just look at how fast these 12-inchers turn around. For a ship from 1910, that is pretty good. Okay, so we have no fear of the Laurel anymore. The Gala is operating 600 meters out. Oh, this could make for a nice thumbnail. Thank you. Flooding. Is that an 8? No, it's a 5. Come on. Give me the 12s. Why are the 12s rotating beyond the Gala? Target it. Boom. Flooding. Again, the Gala's not the biggest threat, but she is this close, so I might as well take her out because she's the easiest to hit. And you're dead. Okay. The Vivacious, isn't it? Yeah, Vivacious still has torps. They carry an intriguingly low amount of... Oh, sorry, wrong target. Of shells. Reduced ammo shells. Oh shit. The Obedient still launching a torp at me. Maximum starboard turn. Okay, fine. Eliminate the Obedient since we're halfway done with that. I'm keeping a very cautious eye on the Vivacious. .12-inch guns, almost in a good angle to fire. Yes. That's what I want to see. This thing got destroyed. Perfect. Target the Vivacious. Ignore the Sepoy and the Tara for now, because they don't have any more torpedoes. This ambush for the Brits, I'd say it went quite well for them. Their DDs got to very close distance. There's the torpedo launch from the Vivacious. They got to quite a close distance, but they weren't able to follow through with the attack. And I gotta say, my gunners, despite being cadets, are remarkably accurate. Another great hit there. The whole bow's gone. And these ships are less survivable because they don't have as many bulk hits. I think they are... Yeah, they're definitely faster. That's probably what's making them expensive. That and the triple torpedo launcher. These things are doing almost 38 knots. As opposed to the 32 and change that the Sepoy and the Tara can do. It does feel like I'm making some progress. Because against the... well, let's say against these newer DDs, I feel like I'm doing better almost than the old DDs. And my new gunboat DDs would have been fantastic here. Because I would definitely gun them down. So if I can have a DD encounter, that'd be great. Now let's clean up the Sepoy and the Tara. And get the Ostfriesland back home to get her fixed up. Even though her damage is very limited. Damage done, 19,000. Damage taken, 428. Sepoy takes a mouthful of 12-inch shells. And proceeds to flood badly. And these things are, well, more survivable at many bulkheads. Inform me why we're not finishing off the Sepoy. There you go. Rudder damaged, engine out. It's a husk of a ship. Or rather, it was. Because she's dead. The Tara is next. Sometimes I'm of a mind to let one of them survive, to tell the tale of what happened to the rest of them, but I think it might be more spooky for the British if none of them survive. They sent out, what, 7 or 8 destroyers? None of them came back. That builds the legend of the Ostfriesland. Oh, come on. That would have been very good salvo. So close to the target. We're a kilometer out. The Tara has guts getting this close. What's it look like from her perspective? We got a listing battleship as she's going through a turn. And this ship... I mean, the visuals can be spectacular with this game. This is still something that they do need to fix, though. Note the elevation of my guns. I'm not sure if we're using 2% propellant to just lob the shell at the target instead of actually fire it at the target. But the elevation of my guns, relative to how much they should be depressed, considering the Tara's position, that's not really how it should be. It's not really how it I'm sorry, how it should work. Okay, so the Tara sinks. And that means we have a complete victory. 1,869 victory points. 8 destroyers have been completely crippled. The Ostfriesland will take some repairs. She had a remarkable 18% main accuracy. For a crew that is completely new, that is a very, very nice feat. Of course, it's not going to do that much about the power projection, because power projection is something that does not really get impacted by DDs that much. We also have a battleship versus battleship encounter here. The Prinz Regent Luitpold versus King George V. And we have a convoy, a couple of DDs, and a heavy cruiser against the heavy cruiser Grafton. Let's go for the BB fight first. Even though I think their battleship might be better than mine. Because this is one of the slightly older designs that does not come with any kind of additional armor where I would like it. Nor torpedo tubes. So we're just going to have to slug it out. And even though I have a green crew, I think that the British are trained better than my ship is. My crews simply don't have the budget, or rather the Navy hasn't had the budget to make this thing work. And there she is, the British battleship. I'm going to slow down, build that accuracy up a bit more. In fact, I don't need to go that fast at all. Weather conditions are pretty terrible, though. That's not going to help. An 8-inch hit. Okay, that's at least something. Are we getting hits or no? Nothing yet. %53% identifying. I'm trying to keep an angle against her. Flooding. That's very welcome. Aft belt pen. Yeah, I'll take that. Accuracy, a little under 6%. At a range of 7 kilometers, I think that's pretty good. With a green level crew? Yeah. I'm happy with that. Are you trying to get away from me? You are. Come on now. Don't be like that. King George. Veteran crew. Almost 1,500 of them. Versus my 1,100 crew. I have an okay chance to pen them. Depending on how I hit. With the current ricochet angle, I don't think I'm that likely to inflict that much damage against them. Interestingly, their firepower is 10-inch. Versus my 12s. So, potentially their chance to damage me is even less. Yeah, 14%. Your speed? 19.5 knots. We're going to increase back to full. See if we can inflict some flooding. Ideally with a couple of high explosive volleys to their aft. And by doing so, slow the ship down. So I can slow down again and build up more accuracy. When it comes to ammo, it's not like the King George is going to run out of ammo, because she has 616 shells and another almost 1,000 for the wing turrets. At least I think they're wing turrets. No, these are the wing turrets. These are the mains. Now she can only fight me with 4 10-inch guns. These two and these two. I don't think the bow is capable of hitting me yet. Whereas I'm ideally firing back with 6. As even the X turret is capable of firing. Yeah, I'm firing out 6 shells. She's 8 kilometers out now. I can speed up the flank. But my chances of catching her in a hit that way is going down. How fast are you going? 19.2. Okay, fine. We'll increase the flank. We'll try to gain some distance on her. Although, we barely can. And maybe an aft compartment can slow her down to 17 knots. That'd be great. Although these guys have many bulkheads and probably a decent anti-flood. So it's not that likely to work. Quite a while later, the Prince Regent Luitpold has barely taken a scratch, but the same cannot be said for the King George V. The ship has had even a main gun destroyed, courtesy of high explosive. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that occurred, but I guess if you hit a turret hard enough with 12-inch high explosive, it will still be destroyed. Sadly, I'm not sure if I have enough ammunition to sink this battleship. Because I still have about 300 shells left. And I still have about an hour 25. But the King George is not really showing that much signs of slowing down. I have been able to slow her down to about 13 knots after destroying an engine. And getting her rudder, well, seemingly destroyed, because I haven't seen it come back online. But I'm a bit hesitant to get too much closer. Because the closer I get, the more dangerous those 10-inchers become. And currently looking about 13-14% chance to pen. I'm trying to swing the ship to starboard to bring the stern batteries to bear. But my chance to pen them is still stuck at less than 23%. Accuracy, though, is good. I'm looking at 20%. And since I had her engine damaged, I'm able to slow down more and more. I'm no longer doing flank speed, which is definitely benefiting my accuracy. But maybe I'm gonna have to be satisfied with a mission kill here, with the ship no longer being, let's say, seaworthy or worthy of going into the war. But beyond that, I don't think I can kill it. It would just take a very, very long time. A little while later again, and the situation looks entirely different. The King George has all her engines damaged. Her secondary tower has been destroyed. The ship has taken a lot of structural damage. And my angle is still pretty good. Meaning that the King George is going to struggle to pen me. At this range though, I have a 52% chance to pen the King George. At 60% accuracy. So I'm essentially going to park here. Let their shells, those 10-inch shells, ricochet off, because, well, that's basically the only ones I still have to worry about. Their 7-inchers ran out, and the rest is 4 and smaller. There you go, that was 10-inch bouncing off. And let my 12-inchers hopefully inflict some below the water level hits, and start flooding that ship out. This is one of their battleships, after all. If I can eliminate this big guy, I can eliminate some of their sea power. Some of their sea control. And I desperately need that. I think we're going to stay at that 51.8, 51.9% chance to pen. That's fine. I just need to get lucky a few times. There we go. Flooding to the bows. And everything continues to ricochet off of the Luitpold. There. That was definitely a ricochet. And the game is desperately asking me if I want to end the battle, but no. I don't. I want to eliminate this warship. They're big. They're expensive at 18.4 million. They're crewed by a whole lot of veterans. So there are a lot of reasons why I want this ship gone. There you go. Casemate guns are getting destroyed. Funnels are getting destroyed. Floodings are being inflicted. Slowly but steadily, the King George will sink. My only concern is that they might knock out my turrets before doing so. But all these floodings are starting to add up. More flooding. They're down to 65% and it's continuing to drop. They have many bulkheads, not maximum like my ships. It's just that I've taken, what, 2 hours to deal 4,000 points of damage. It's not stellar. Oh, she's starting to angle away. I really don't want you to angle away there, George. Chance to pen? Still 20. There you go. It's another flooding. I'm gonna get you, buddy. It's been a good battleship on battleship brawl, this one, but it's gonna draw to a close in my favor. Conning tower destroyed. Their damage control ability will be severely hampered now. We're down to 30% buoyancy on the King George, 25. Structural integrity holding at 12%, 11%. Buoyancy dropping to 20. A couple of hits to the stern would be much appreciated. Let's go with HE, because my pen chance is pretty dreadful. Destroyed secondary gun, buoyancy 20%. Slowly recovering. Increased speed, we're going to have to bypass them. And get that last couple of AP in. Because at this rate, I'm not going to get that damage that I need. Although, maybe I just bludgeon it down with high explosive. They take 2 to 3% of their structural integrity apart per salvo. That ought to do it. There, they're down to 5%. Their buoyancy is recovering. If you look at the damage chart of the Prince George, there is, or sorry, the King George, there's basically nothing left. Everything is red. Even some of the stern turrets are no longer with us. And despite the Well, despite all the effort that the King George put the Prinz Regent Luitpold through, my ship barely took a lot of damage. Yeah, she took some flooding. She took some structural integrity damage. But I can probably get this thing fixed in a month, maybe 2. So this is most definitely a big win to the Prinz Regent Luitpold. She's down to 0.8%. Another main gun's been destroyed. 0.7% structural. Come on there, into Prinz Regent. One last salvo. And she's gone. The King George V has been destroyed. With very little damage to the Prinz Regent Luitpold. Excellent win. 2,000 victory points. It's going to take probably till the next month before that power projection of theirs goes down after losing that battleship. And my ship is going to be repairing for a month. That's all. Just a month. That is very nice. I hope that this will also boost my crew training, but I kind of doubt it. Now, some of my battleships were set to in being instead of sea control. Still this one. I'm going to pull a couple of my heavy cruisers into the scrapyard because I need to be able to afford the ability to get the battleships out there. These guys were in being anyway. There. It's not going to do wonders for my sea projection or power projection, but I'm trying to keep something of a level balance. Level monthly balance. Anyway, that'll be it for today. I think that victory is a very, very nice one. And on to the next. Seeing if I can get more of their battleships killed. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that slugfest, and I'll see you soon for more.